analysts had braced for a slowdown, but not this big of a slowdown, Craig.
Yeah, there were some that were even predicting year-over-year growth, which seems kind of hard to believe when you look at the publicly available figures that we had throughout the quarter, especially over here in Europe. We saw just really substantial declines in some of the biggest EV markets. But this was pretty widespread, right? We saw also in China, the wholesales out of the Shanghai plant were down, month after month in the first quarter. And so, as you alluded to earlier, this is a matter of both, Musk's politicking coming into play, but also, more mundane factors like changing over the Model Y, which, we'll better get a handle on just how much, one factored into this versus the other as the weeks, in the coming weeks when we get a better sense of just how well the newer Model Y is doing.
Mundane factors such as competition as well, most fiercely in China. Can you just break out where, in particular, the geographies were worst?
Yeah, I mean, the company doesn't offer a regional breakdown, unfortunately, but we know that in China, BYD is really just mopping up. We're seeing them really, pull further ahead from the competition, Tesla and otherwise. We've seen also Xiaomi, turn a lot of heads and really, pull away consumers that might have otherwise looked at buying a Tesla. I think one of the challenges that you're seeing for the company is that they just don't have as broad a lineup or as affordable a lineup as BYD does, and so they are just not the volume player that they used to be in that market and cannot keep up with BYD.
China's Passenger Car Association releasing data that sees an 11% slide for Tesla. In France, it was down more than 30% once again. Just tell us the nuance of what we expect to hear from Elon Musk on this. In the past, they have tried to direct as to why they've slowed down and blaming in many parts the production overhaul. Will we hear from him on the back of these numbers?
Yeah, I think one of the things that's interesting to me about these figures that they reported today is that production exceeded deliveries by a fairly substantial margin. And so this excuse that this was just, production constraint, that was at issue doesn't really seem to work out. Of course, you would expect there to be some lag in that, some vehicles have to be produced and then shipped to where they, are and end up at Tesla stores and with end customers. But, for this gap to be this significant in a quarter where we knew the Model Y changeover was happening, that's definitely notable. I think the other thing that we're likely to hear from Musk, in addition to the Model Y excuse, is, for him to sort of pivot to the talk about AI and autonomous driving and, flip to the robo-taxi event that they've, said is coming in June, that they will start giving people rides in unsupervised full self-driving Teslas in Austin. That, of course, is something that is potentially a catalyst in the months to come.